there's many wild tour stories, but when we were in New Orleans, it was like a multitude of just funny stories that, when you hear them, they might not sound that funny to you, but they was funny as hell to me. And one was, we had a friend that owned a bar on Bourbon, 711 Bourbon, the Trico House, right? And we're up on the balcony, and on the balcony you get the beads and stuff. So, they'll do anything for them beads. But Kid Capri's up here, and a friend of his comes up there who had never been on the balcony, and he had the hottest record in the world at the time. His name was Juvenile. And we up there with Juvenile and beads. It was the greatest sights on Bourbon Street that you ever saw in your life, man. And I'm just thinking about that because we had played the Sanger Theater with Frankie Beverly's Live in New Orleans album. Like, it was a big moment for us. But one of the guys on our tour had been wilding on tour. Some of them guys be wilding. So this guy happened to have his New Orleans piece at the show, right? So for some reason, my road manager had gone back to the hotel. And who was at the hotel? The comedian's wife, waiting for him to come back to the hotel after the show. But she wasn't by herself. She was with his mistress. So the wife and the mistress was waiting for him to come back. They didn't know that he had the show with a whole nother one. So my security guy had to tell him, yo, we got to get your stuff out the room and we got to go get you another room somewhere else because they're squatting on him. And it didn't work. And to hear him get cornered with them and some of the stuff that he was saying, we were like on the floor, man. We were on the floor. And then there was another time, all this was happening in New Orleans. Two of the comedians, we were down there for the Final Four. Two of the comedians, during the day, they decided they're gonna go to Foot Locker at separate times and buy outfits for the game. This is when Michigan and North Carolina was playing, right? Both of them had come in from the place with their bags and stuff, and we were gonna meet down in the lobby and stuff to go to the game, right? So Kid and the security guy and myself, we're waiting. So one got off the elevator, had on this fly Adidas suit, hat, this, that, and the other, right? So now we waiting for the other one. The other one got off the elevator. They must have had the same salesman. You ever see when I Love Lucy and Ethel have on the same dress? They had on the same suit, and neither one of them wanted to change. We were on the floor, and now we have to walk over to the Superdome, and they're like mad at each other and kidding not. We're actually crawling because it was just like, you had to be there to see this, man. Just like some amazing shit. So now we're on the tour bus, these same two guys, right? Now, about a month or two go past. Now, Kid's always on the bus playing beats. He has a little studio in the back, right? So now these guys, they rapping on, they rapping the Kid's beats. And I just looked over at Kid and I said, damn, Kid, all they need now is their suits. And when I said that, that whole laughter from that night came all the way back, and now they was pissed again, man. It was like, these stories right here is stories that the people that was there, I know that they would say, wow, there was some crazy nights, man. We had a comedian one night open up the show. Like, we would always have warm-up acts. So this one happened to be a ventriloquist, right? And the dude had went too long, and my road manager started like going off on the dude, and he ain't want to hear it no more. So he started like having the dummy talk to him. So now my road manager is arguing with the dummy. That shit was hilarious, man. Hilarious. Can you imagine that? It was funny. Funny. There's been some funny stories. And one of the funniest stories, everything really happened the Universal Amphitheater in Los Angeles. We were there doing the show, and Magic Johnson and Shaquille O'Neal, this is when Shaq was playing for the Lakers, and we're watching the Yankees in the World Series. We're in the back watching the game, and I got all drunk and stuff. I had to, actually, that night, I had to pay the limo driver $250 extra for cleanup fees because it wasn't a good, I was drinking, that's when I was drinking a lot of tequila. And it was just a wild night. But what I remember most about that night was how I had fallen for the okie doke. And I should have known better, right? And again, this may not sound, it's just an interaction with a rapper, but it was like it really happened and I didn't know how to take it. But then again, I said, wow, I'm gonna take it like what it was, right? You remember Tadao? Ricky Harris, the late, great Ricky Harris. Great man. Love him. Well, Ricky, was involved in doing all of the Death Row videos and all that stuff, right? So Rick was on the show. So now I'm running from the side of the stage to down the stairs to go in the back, right? So as I'm going down the back, a crew is coming through, and one of the guys in the crew was Snoop. So Snoop goes, yo, B, you seen whatchamacallit? And I'm thinking that he's talking about Ricky, right? I'm just totally, and then I just quickly said, who, right? And Snoop goes, these motherfucking nuts. And I'm telling you, the whole crew busted out laughing, and I was like stuck there with pie on my face. But then I said, damn, Snoop did that shit to me live. That was pretty cool. But it was like really, it was one of those like womp, 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 womp moments. And I don't know, I just thought that was cool.